welcome back to Usapang Bayan. Kasama pa rin po natin si Congressman Butch Pichay. Sir, matatapos na po ang taon. Ano po ba yung mga priority measures natin sa darating na 2018?
Wow, sa 2018, on my part, I have a lot of pending bills. Number one is, alam mo, one of the fastest way to create employment is to promote tourism. We have a lot of tourist destination in our country. In my province alone, Surigao del Sur, napakarami pong tourist destination. Pero kulang po yung infrastructure for facilities and then access
Yes.
going to the tourist destination. Walang mga kalsada. So, merong isang agency, yung CHESA, dating Philippine Tourism Authority, na ang revenue niya nanggagaling sa travel tax. And it generates around 4 billion a year. And yet, kalahati noon, napupunta sa CHED. So now I have a bill pending in Congress that states na dapat yung
Lahat
revenue na yon, lahat na yon, dapat sa tourism.
Tama.
Dapat nga, dagdagan pa yan, isubsidize pa natin yung CHESA ng probably another 20 billion a year. Why? Because if we have access and facilities to all these tourist destination, then marami pong turista na pupunta rito.
Maraming makikinabang.
Maraming makikinabang. Imagine, the Philippines only attracts around 5 million tourists. And we are a country of 100 million people. Singapore, a country of 5 million people, attracts around 7 million tourists a year.
Wow.
And then Portugal, the poorest European country, they attract around 30 million tourists a year. Isipin mo naman, if we attract 30 million tourists a year, yun na lang, 30 million tourists a year, spending $1,000 per pax. Magkano yun? Napakalaki po yan. That's around $30 billion. $30 billion, wow. Almost the same as the remittance ng OFW. And ang OFW contributes to 20% of GDP. Eh kung another 20% will come from the tourism revenue, napakaunlad po ng ating bansa. So I have that bill now pending in the Committee on Tourism that all the revenue of the
Travel tax.
all travel taxes should be spent for the infrastructure of tourism. So maliit lang 'yon, but you know, identify ng Department of Tourism kung alin po ang uunahin natin. Alin po ang tourist destination na makaka-attract ng maraming turista. I can assure you, Enchanted River will be one.
Yes, of course.
Matagal ko na hong binabalak magpunta dyan. Nakikita ko lang sa picture at napakaganda talaga.
Gusto
Tsaka sa
mo maging
commercial.
engkantado, ha?
Pero kung isa po kasi sa mga dahilan na sinasite dahil po dun sa pag-hamper ng ating tourism growth ay yung banta po ng terorismo. Meron po ba tayong mga pending bills regarding that?
You cannot avoid terrorist attacks by bills. Kailangan talaga national security yan. But, you know, even in the United States, you are not safe. Even in Europe, you are not safe. Di ba sa sa Las Vegas, may isang taong nabuwang. Ilan ang
Nobody's
namatay.
safe.
So, it's the negative media actually that is harmful. Dahil, tingnan mo naman yung Europe, marami ring mga attacks doon sa United States. Americans pa ang umaatake. Yung mga nabubuang, nasisira ulo ng mga Amerikano. So, you know, you can say that, in the States you're safe, or in Europe you're safe. In the Philippines you're not. That's unfair.
Just talking a little bit about yung tourism na pinopropose nyo, no, to strengthen tourism. Ano ho ba ang plano nyo sa distrito nyo sa Surigao del Sur?
Magandang tanong yan. Magandang
sige
tanong. You know, unahin natin, Enchanted River. Enchanted River. Kulang po yan ng facilities. Like for example, kulang ng hotels. No? And then we have the Tinoyan Falls. It's a mini Niagara Falls. And not only that, in that area, in that vicinity, the forest land around the area, meron pong pinupuntahan ng mga bird watchers. That's a very strong group in the there are some groups na ang members po ng mga bird watchers ay 14,000. mga photographers po yan. And they would wait to see the smallest bird in the world.
Smallest.
Wow.
Gano'n ho
smallest
kaliit ba yung
bird.
smallest bird in the world? Gano'n ho kaliit yun?
I haven't seen one.
I haven't seen.
I haven't seen one. So, you go there, you enjoy the Niagara Falls, mini Niagara Falls, you call it the Tinoyan Falls, and then you start watching, bird watching. Yung alam mo naman yung mga camera, mga telescopic
The
camera.
telezoom.
Telezoom. So, they start watching. And they were even willing to build, what do you call this, a lodge, no? Or a resort for enthusiasts, bird enthusiasts. So, on one condition, that it will be declared as a sanctuary. Bird sanctuary. So I have a pending bill now also that will declare that area around 500 hectares to 1,000 hectares as a sanctuary.
Maybe you can invite international
Yes.
photographers to document all of these things. Like for example, sila George Tapan and all of these other people.
Maybe you can help, George.
Yes, I can talk to my tokayo and have him visit you.
Yeah, because really it's a nice place. Then we have the Britannia. It's
Ano
a
naman
group
ho yan?
of islands with white beaches, no?
Wow.
So it's also beautiful, and a lot of people from Mindanao, they go there now. So meron ng ano doon, mga tourists na regularly pumupunta. And then we have the Caguayat Beach. It's a white beach, exactly similar to Boracay. 3-kilometer stretch of white beach.
Naku, baka pwede
Very
pa tayo,
fine.
baka pwede pa
Pino rin
tayong
ng
mag-invest
sand?
dyan, Rich.
Kaya
Yeah.
nga, sir. Pino rin ang sand? Pino rin ang sand, sir?
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Rich, papaimbita na tayo kay Congressman
Sure.
Pichay.
Invite
ha?
mo kami, Kong.
Then we have I'm sure nakikita din nyo yan sa social media, yung laswitan. Yung the wave hits the stone and then sprays it upwards and then you're in a pool.
Wow.
So,
Parang sa sine.
Laswitan.
Di ba? Oh.
And then, Lanusa, it is the best surfing destination in the Philippines. Right now, the most popular is Surigao because they have the Cloud9
Yes,
wave.
Surigao.
But that's only one wave. If you go to Lanusa, you have a wave for longboard, then you have a wave for regular surfboard. So, that will be the future. No?
Wow. Ipapaubaya ko na kay
capital.
Rich yung surfing.
It will be the future surfing
Surfing
destination in the Philippines, Lanusa.
So malaki ho pala ang potential.
Ang laki po. Then you have in Cantilan, again, group of islands. Napakagandang mga islands doon. And then, of course, you have the Red Mountain, very controversial because it's red because of the iron ore and the nickel. That's where the mining companies are. And it's creating a lot of jobs also for
The
my
locals.
for my constituents.
I see.
And a lot of revenue for the LGUs.
Eh kung bibisitahin ho natin lahat yan, gaano katagal kayo,
Yes.
kaya
Ang
natin
bago
matapos
magpapackage ka dyan, mahigit 1 linggo.
Aba.
If you want to
Maximize
come up with a
talaga.
package, tour package, mahigit 1 linggo yan. That is
Rich,
of course
asikasuhin mo na.
kung may mga kalsada na yan, no? May mga kalsada like going to it's a rough road. Going to Laswitan, it's rough road. Going to Tinoyan Falls, rough road pa rin. And then also to Enchanted River. But there are funds now available
good.
for the for the
Construction.
pavement of those roads.
Oh.
So ang kulang na lang hotels. Kaya Rich at saka George, you can invest in hotels.
Sige nga,
Sige.
pag-aralan natin.
Sige, sir. But, sir, usapin pa rin po yung pag-grant ng emergency powers kay Pangulong Duterte para po masolusyonan yung traffic dito sa bansa. Ano po ba ang estado nito sa lower house?
Well, I'm just surprised, no? Because I already told Secretary Tugadi, there is no need for you to ask Congress to pass a law because the President has the power to declare an emergency. The only time you need Congress if you are going to sequester public utilities. Then you need the approval of Congress because may perang involved yan. Pero kung hindi ka naman magsisequester ng public utilities, like yung mga land transportation, then there is no need. The President can declare
Just
an
regular.
emergency. Then you will be allowed to do purchases up to 500 million without the benefit of bidding. Meaning to say, purchase ka ng 500 million, another 500 million. So if your purchase is around 2 billion, provided that you don't split it, no? In other words, this one
Iba-ibang
is
project.
for ibang project.
Iba-ibang project.
So, no need. No need. The only time you need, again, I repeat, is when you try to sequester a public utility, like a transportation.
Ano naman ho ang ang posisyon nyo tungkol sa plano ng presidente na i-extend ang martial law sa Mindanao?
Dapat lang. Dapat lang kasi minsan, alam mo, natatawa nga ako itong may mga senador, mga congressmen na sinasabi, what is your justification? Abay, napakatagal na ng rebellion ng yung NPA. Ilang taon na yan? 40 years plus. Long overdue yung martial law eh. Andyan yung, imagine mo sa Mindanao, nandyan yung NPA, nandyan yung ISIS, MAUTI, andyan yung BIFF, andyan yung MILF, nandyan yung MNLF, nandyan yung Abu Sayyaf. Ano pa bang justification ang kailangan nila? Bakit hindi nila puntahan yung Abu Sayyaf para malaman nila?
Well,
Or yung mga...
si Congressman Pichay is, of course, from Mindanao. So he's speaking as a local, di ba?
Dapat huwag makialam yung mga taga Luzon.
Oh.
Kami sa Mindanao, we're happy about it because wala naman kaming nafe-feel na abuses by the military. There's none. And at least na-contain natin yung ISIS.
Yes.
Oh.
We have contained it. Kung hindi na-contain yun, baka nandoon na sa Bohol yun. Remember? Pumunta sila sa Bohol. Kung hindi na-contain yun, baka nandito na rin sa Maynila yun.
Kumalat na, parang
Kumalat na.
cancer.
So, I mean, you should be thankful that the President asked Congress to declare martial law.
Before we take a break, Kong, where do we see the Philippines under the Duterte administration in terms of our ties with world powers such as China and the United States?
Well, I think the President is a very astute politician and a diplomat. Tingnan mo, we have good relationship with China. And because we have good relationships with China, tumutulong yung China, nagbibigay ng aid. Ngayon, ang Amerikano naman, nakikita nila, teka muna, nililigawan ng China. Hindi na rin mga second hand ang binibigay sa atin. Dati, papadalhan tayo dito ng C-130. Mga ano na yon, actually, mga reject na nila yon. Ayusin lang ng konti, dadalhin dito. But this time, they're giving us good good hardware, no? Good equipment. May Russia pa.
May Russia pa,
ng tulong,
exactly.
nagbibigay
Yes.
ng tulong. May Japan. Nagbibigay ng tulong. Mga 4 o 5 surveillance airplane. And then yung Australia, nagbibigay naman ng naval vessels. So, I think by far, he has done a lot. Napakagaling po ng foreign diplomacy niya. Meron siyang I think he's playing a good poker game.
Well, please stay tuned. Magbabalik pa rin po ang Usapang Bayan. Kasama pa rin po natin si Congressman Butch Pichay.